everyone. We're going to go ahead and put together the Pasta Primavera, and I'm going to do this real quick. Hopefully you can see my board. I've got all my prep here. I diced my onions. I've got my mushrooms. They've been cleaned with a towel. Just cleaned it well with a towel. You don't want to soak them in water. And then we've got our broccoli florets all cut up, my julienne peppers. I've got some green onion here, and my carrots, and some chopped garlic. So with that, there's a few things I want to do. I want to make the concassé tomato, but first let me just go ahead and I'm going to blanch these broccoli. So right here I've got a little container just to make it easy to get it in and out quick. So I'm going to throw that broccoli in there, and it's salted water. I used a little bit of kosher salt, and that way it doesn't have iodine, which sometimes could affect green vegetables. So we want to have it al dente. So I'm going to watch those when they just start to soften. When I see a little bit of translucent in the stems, we'll pull those off. Okay, so meanwhile, I took my tomato and I split it here, and I took the core out, and that's going to go in here as well. After those are done, your stove at home will have quite a bit more heat, so it'll go a little faster than this. But I'm actually going to be seeing all of you in class shortly, so I'm going to have to go real quick with this. So once if you prep everything like this, it'll go pretty fast. Another thing that we have here is our stock. There's our chicken stock. I'm going to go ahead and put that in there, and it's cold right now, and I'm going to add the cornstarch, and then I'll just whisk that in. So, and then I'll just let that sit, let that cornstarch dissolve, and I'm going to put a little heavy cream in, so I have that here as well. So we'll just leave that. I'm going to check on the broccoli. Okay, the broccoli is just about done. I don't want it to go too far. So what I'm going to do is take that out and drain that good. And now I'm going to put this in my ice bath. So I don't know if you can see that, but I don't have enough room, so I have an ice bath right here. I keep it in the strainer, make it really easy to take it out. It's already quite cold, so I can just go ahead and shake off that extra moisture. And then what I'm going to do is I have a little container here to put it in. Oops, I'll just put it in that container and then leave that here. We're going to do the same with the carrots. We're going to give them a little blanch. You could, it doesn't hurt a carrot to be sauteed as well, but we're going to go ahead and start it here. And then I am going to use that same salted water there to do the pasta. And the reason I just don't want to use a lot of pots, I'm in a big hurry to get to our class there. It won't hurt a little bit of the vegetable flavor going into the pasta, but I wouldn't do the pasta first because it's going to be really starchy, the water after that. So I didn't want to add that, so let's go ahead and get this ready. Okay, because that will be next to go in there. Whoa, that is kind of dangerous. I'm gonna roll it right on the floor here. Okay, so we've got that, the Parmesan. My right here, the chicken. I'm going to just let's see if I could. I'm going to spoon a little bit of ice here. It's a little warm here right now, and I don't have refrigeration right here to use, so I'm just going to leave my chicken on ice. Just keep it cold. It's only going to be a few minutes. Okay, so I'm going to give those carrots one more minute, and then we're going to go ahead and do the concassé. And then I'm going to try to just do everything really quick. I'll saute the chicken after we have that sauce. I've got another sauce pot, so we'll blend the sauce with all the vegetables in a little while, and then we'll do the assembly. And the chicken's going to get cut and put on top. All right. So they've got a pretty good blanch there. So I'm going to go ahead and put those in there. And now I'm going to put the pasta. I don't have a really big pot, so that water's boiling right there. I'm going to put that pasta in it. And then I'll just swirl it around to make sure that it, as it softens, that it gets down in there. At home, use a bigger pot, a lot more boiling water. These stoves here, if that flame, if you put a big pot, it goes out and it heats up the tank of gas. So they warn you on there not to do that. So I can't put a huge pot on there right now. And it's funny, we don't have good Wi-Fi throughout the kitchen. There's no Wi-Fi in the test kitchen. So, you know, I'm forced to do it back here in this corner. So let me just get that loosened up and get that all down in there. Okay, so remember, a bigger pot will be much better for you. You just don't want to put a big pot on these burners. Okay, so that'll just fall down in there. Okay, so we've got the broccoli. The carrots are ready. Okay, now the rest of these I want to saute. So, meanwhile, we can go ahead, because that saute part, that's going to be very, very quick. Oh, and the one thing I didn't do, which I'm going to go ahead and do right here, is I meant to throw that tomato in there. So it won't hurt. I'm going to let that tomato just start to, the peel to come back, and then we'll do that. But I've got to get in there to our class, so unfortunately I'm going to do this really, really fast. So let me just get rid of some stuff here. Okay, just tidy up a little bit. So this stove is on right now. I'm going to try to get it, try to get the right temperature. It's kind of a small pot. That cornstarch settles to the bottom, so we're going to want to be really careful here. It's completely dissolved, so we don't have to whisk it. So I'm watching that, I'm watching over here at the same time. I'm going to make sure that pasta's down in there. That tomato just needs a little bit more time, then I'm going to go ahead and shock it. So don't feel you have to have everything going at once, but do take notes just so we get that right. That pot's barely big enough for this stove. Okay, that tomato, the peel, it's coming off now. It's starting to peel back. So see that? We're going to shock it. We want to stop it from cooking now. Okay, I want to check my pasta here. And the pasta, we're going to shock that as well. Okay, back to this. We're thickening this sauce here. That was chicken stock. And we're going to season it with salt, pepper. We've got some red pepper flakes. So as soon as that comes to a simmer, we'll simmer it for just a couple of minutes, and then we'll be ready to do our saute next. Now the chicken breasts we have, they're very, very small, and they're going to cook fast. It's it's a food service kind of, we'd say a food service cut, but they're really thin. I actually have 2 of them in there, and they're going to go very fast. And these burners, they're just barely enough, to even keep it boiling. It's just boiling slow. At home, you should get a good rolling boil. That would be a lot more effective. Okay, that's getting close now. We will keep a close eye on our pasta. I'm going to strain it in this. Bye. Okay, so it's coming to a simmer right here, I don't want that starch to sit on the bottom. We want to be real careful there. But the starch, when it's completely dissolved like that, it's not going to lump up at any point unless you leave it sitting on the bottom. Okay, so it's getting clear because it's just coming to a simmer there. Meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and just peel this. Take the peel off this tomato. Okay, and then I just have a little spot right there that I want to take off. Okay, so tidy up, check the pasta. You want to get it, you know, almost al dente, just because we're going to reheat it again. So. Okay, so we've thickened our stock right there. So at this point, I am just going to add a little bit of cream now to it. It's optional. You're going to get some in with yours, but we're going to go ahead and put a little cream in it. And I want to bring that just barely to a simmer.